Hey, everybody. My name is Matt. I think I'm going to do this a little quieter and calmer. Who knows? My name is Matt. I'm your coach of the... Where is it? Las Vegas Frights. That's pointing in the complete opposite direction. Is my screen. And guys, we have been invited to the ICP again. I do apologize if this draft breakdown is a little, jumbly, little odd. I do not feel great right now. But I gotta muscle through this. My upload's due in a couple days. I just want to make sure I can get it done and edited and stuff like that. But we have been so graciously invited back to the ICP. We were in the ICP last season as a replacement coach, which was really cool. We did okay. We got a weird team. We lost the first match. Won a couple matches, got sick in a couple matches, but it was a really, really fun time. And we got invited back to a full season now, which is cool, and it is a Terra season. Last season there was no Terra, which I thought was a cool format. But this season is like pretty standard Paldea decks, where we have 115 Pokemon. We can draft 9 to 11. We get 2 Terra captains out of 25 points that will get, there'll be Terra attacks and they'll be subtracted from our total, obviously. But something interesting to note in this draft is there is no grace period. And to me, that's a big deal. I typically feel confident when I'm drafting, but if snipes and changes happen, grace is a really good opportunity to change up your team and fix your holes. And we were not able to do this. And what I will tell you is I got sniped a handful of times. So the team we're going to talk about today is technically what I drafted. There are 2 Pokemon that I drafted that you will not see, and there's 1 Pokemon that you will see that I didn't draft, but I made the transaction literally as soon as the draft ended. It just won't be active till week 2, so I'll talk about it. And full disclosure, I made 3 more transactions after this transaction we'll talk about before week 2. So I have no transactions left going into week 2. I will talk about those when week 2 hits, because I recorded my week 1 not knowing that was going to happen. Oh, excuse me. But without further ado, let's talk about the draft. Originally, I don't remember exactly what spot. 2, 4, 6, 8. I think there's 16 coaches. Yeah, there's 16 coaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 14 coaches. Okay, so there's 14 coaches, and originally I had 8th. Horrible spot. Literally right in the middle. Especially in a draft that there is no grace period. I want a wheel pick if I can afford it. And 8th does not give me that. So what I ended up doing was trading with someone. I think it was Zach I traded with to get 12th out of 14th. I don't remember exactly. But I got an end spot. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I will, actually, no, I think I traded with I Am Destroyer. Now I'll tell you why I thought it was Zach in a second. So I got 13th out of 14th. I was essentially a wheel pick, and my friend was the wheel pick AP, so we were able to plan picks accordingly. So that felt really confident. And there was, the benefit to that is I get a more consistent draft. I get Pokemon that pair well together. The downside of that is it was tough to plan. And if I didn't do that, I think I would have ended up with a better draft, because there were 2 Pokemon I really wanted. One was Trapagos, but I wasn't going to get Trapagos anyway, I didn't think. I thought it was going to go top 6, and then I wanted Terra Hydrapple. They allowed Terra Hydrapple, and I played my drafts around getting one of those. I saw 8th, I was like, okay, I'll switch it up. It's okay if I don't get them. What happened was the person I traded with in 8th got Terrapagos. So if I stayed, I would have gotten it. And I'm like, oh, that's a dagger to the heart. Whatever. Terra Hydrapple's still on the board. It shouldn't have been on the board. It was going, right? First 7 went. Hydrapple wasn't taken. Then it was Terrapagos. Ugh. Then Landorus Incarnate. Then Iron Treads. Then Torn. 2 picks away. I'm at bat. I'm about to swing. And Zach takes Terra Hydrapple, and I'm like, ugh, I am devastated, because 100% of my draft plan is out the window now. All of it. I had to replan everything, and it was my pick. And that's what happened. I should plan with more, and I made the trade, and that's my fault for sure. But this is the first time I really went into a pick not knowing what I was going to do. So, for the first pick of the Las Vegas Frights in the ICP, we get Terra Iron Crown. Terra Hydrapple, I think, is better. Terra Iron Crown is still really, really good. And let me pull up all the stats and stuff. But we were looking at a couple possible cores, like me and the crew. We saw Iron Crown. I saw things. I saw Gouging Fire was still around. I saw what were a couple other ones? I saw Dragonite was still there, but that didn't feel like a good round 1 pick. Petrunt was still there if we wanted to go defensively. Dengo was still available. A couple mons I considered getting, but none of them felt as strong as Terra Iron Crown, plus the Pokemon I am getting next. Iron Crown I've used twice now, very successfully. I really like this Pokemon. It's a Psychic and Steel type, and I think it's a Psychic type that is good. I feel like there's a lot of Psychic types that are not as good anymore. 98 base speed isn't great, but it's a great Scarf user, and it's a really good speed stat for something that's pretty bulky. 90 HP, 100 defense, 108 special defense with a decent defensive typing, not great, but a solid defensive typing is fantastic. And then 122 special attack with Tachyon Cutter, special steel type move that hits twice. There is very, very little Pokemon that can resist Tachyon Cutters, and the things that can don't like taking Focus Blast, and especially don't like taking things like Terra Blast, Terra Ground, or Terra Blast, Terra Fire. So it can hit really, really hard on the special side, and then it can be a great AV pivot option. It gets Volt Switch, it gets things like Second Horse to stop healing. Obviously, Tachyon Cutter is going to come almost every week, but I can go Calm Mind Sword power sets, I can go Agility, I can go Booster Energy. Joe is our Terra Captain, is our number 1 pick. I feel very confident in this Pokemon. I've used it very successfully all 2 other times I've used it before. And it wasn't with Terra, and now I just think Terra opens it up. Now, the weakness of having Iron Crown as your Terra Captain is Steel types. Not having a Steel type becomes an issue, because it's hard to check Ice types, it's hard to check Flying types, because when I would normally use Iron Crown to do such a thing, if I change its type, it can't do that. And part of this big transaction thing that I did after this week, and you're only going to see one of them here, was because of that. I was like, okay, I need something that's able to check Ice type, so you're going to see I do struggle to do that a little bit. But we're going to jump right into the next pick, guys. We got On the Wheel Roaring Moon. This was crazy to me. Terra Iron Crown Roaring Moon is a ridiculous core. It hits so hard. Roaring Moon, 119 speed, so really, really, really solid speed tier. Outspeeding those 115s. Not quite that 120 mark, but that's fine. 101 Spadef and 71 defense with 105 HP means it can be bulky if I needed to, right? But it really means I can run offensive stats and not worry about dying to one hit unless it's like a Moonblast. Obviously, I can't take Fairy type moves. And then 139 attack, right? That just hits like a truck. We've got Knockoff, Earthquake, Iron Head, obviously all the Dragon Stab. U-turn if we want to be another pivot. We have Dragon Dance options. We also have Booster Energy options. Both of my first 2 picks are great Booster Energy users, and they pair so well together. Dark types that Iron Crown can't deal with, Roaring Moon's got. Dragon types and Fairy types that Roaring Moon can't deal with, Iron Crown's got. Fire types Moon can check for Fire, and Ghost types Moon can check for Crown. Ice types Crown can check for Moon. They just pair so well together. They can both pivot into each other and kill the things the other one struggles to hit. So just as a front 2 pairing, I mean, I've used Roaring Moon a handful of times as well, and I just feel like these 2 Pokemon together is so strong. And now I have Terra option on this. Iron Crown, I think this is a nasty duo to get so late into the draft. Okay, so next pick, before I talk about it, I had an initial plan. I really liked Terra Hydrapple with webs. Same as Trapagos. I love Trapagos with webs. I thought that could have been a really, really strong core. Specific Pokemon, if you're a fan of me, you know I love as a Pokemon, as competitively, and just because I think it's cool. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, webs are still really cool with the team. Let's jump on it now. We got round 3 Araquanid. Now, 9 points Araquanid going round 3. I definitely jumped the gun on this, but I was totally okay with that. I think... Excuse me, I do apologize. I think Araquanid is horribly undervalued for 9 points, and it's been just going down, and I think it's not getting any worse than it is. Talk about it, what it does. It obviously brings webs. That is a huge part of its kit, and I think it's one of the best webs users in the game, because it's not going to immediately die to rock blasts or to any steel move like a like a Rabombi would. So I think Iraq as a web setter is the best one there is. But also, it has a ton of utility outside of that. 132 special check, that special defense allows us to check those ice types. Now, obviously, we can't take freeze dry, but this is a really, really strong, bulky water. And now we have something to check fighting types as well. Now we have something to check ground types that we couldn't really hit before. Now we have a water immunity, which isn't huge for these two Pokemon, but if I do want to go Terra Ground, Iron Crown, and I don't feel like I need Water Bubble, which is other ability, makes its water type attacks hit really hard. 70 base physical attacks not good, but that's doubled when I'm using Liquidation. The water immunity can be really, really beneficial if I need it to be. It's not for bulking the physical side. 92 defense is like okay, but 68 HP means that's not great. And like coverage moves, it struggles with. It really only needs to run Water Stab often. It does get like Leech Life, but that's still coming off of a 70 base attack set, so it's not good. Same with Poison Jab. Like it can hit fairies, but other than that, it's not great. But it does get things like Endure. Kostap is really strong. I think it does get Iron Defense. I could be wrong on that. It does have like a couple decent support options, but it's really here either to come with like Choice Band or Mystic Water Liquidation to smack stuff, or to set webs. And tell me how terrifying webs plus Iron Crown looks. That's so scary. Next pick, guys, I got Pheasantipity. I'm going to be honest. We did drop Pheasant. This is going to be one of the ones that we dropped. I'm going to tell you what we dropped. I'm not going to tell you what we picked up. But I'm going to tell you my thought process why I picked up Fez. The reason I dropped it, by the way, was just because I don't know how to build with this thing, and I was like, alright, if I don't know how to build with it, get rid of it. But Pheasantipity was a really cool Pokemon here. Something that Iron Crown and Roaring Moon like is a grounded poison type, right? Iron Crown, especially because, again, it's Terra. I'm going to lose my ability to check fairy types. Let's have a really consistent fairy check, which this is. And I wanted a fairy type, right? I wanted something that could deal with some of the dragons once Iron Crown was out of its Terra. I wanted something that had a good special defense stat. This has it. This is a really good speed tier. It's like, I think it's 99. Just 1 point faster than Iron Crown. I can spread poisons. It's a fantastic pivot option with U-turn and Toxic Chain. It's Toxic Chain, right? I think that's the ability. It's not even on my dock anymore. I didn't even realize that, which is really funny. But the thing with Pheasant is it doesn't hit really hard, and it's checked by a lot of common threats. It's checked by pretty much any steel type. I can't do anything to a steel type. I told that to my group, and they were like, "Yeah, just bring beat up." And I'm like, "Okay." So that's what we're doing now. We're trying to make beat up Pheasantipity work to check steel type. Sure. Did I spell it wrong? Hold on. No, I spelled it right. That's just a dumb spelling. Like, it's a really cool Pokemon, and I hate playing against it, which is part of the reason I picked it up. But I don't think it's actually very good. No, looking at it. So we're gonna skip it. Next pick, Moltres, guys. Another Pokemon I ended up dropping, which is such a bummer because I actually really liked Moltres in this team. And I think it's really good, and you'll understand why I dropped it when we get to the transactions later on. But Moltres is a 12-point fire type. I wanted a fire type. I wanted a ground immunity, not just a resist. We had a couple ground weaknesses now, but Moltres is really cool because it just hits really hard. Obviously, anytime I'm going to run it, I'm either running it lead, scarf, or heavy-duty boots, and there's no other option. But fire stab is really hard to deal with a lot of the time, especially when a handful of water types can't take flying type moves. And then also a lot of water types that want to check Moltres don't like taking things like Scorching Sands. Like Tentacool can't comfortably come in. It can, right? It can take Scorching Sands just fine, but then it gets burned into getting chipped down. I can do it a couple more times and pivot out. But Moltres is cool. It gives me like Tailwind options. It gives me U-turn options. It gives me a great physically defensive fire type, which is really nice for fairy types. It gives me an option to burn things. Not a great speed to it at 90, but like it's okay. But part of the reason I end up dropping Moltres is you'll actually see in my next pick. Or maybe it's not my next pick. I think it is. I mentioned how there's the water types that want to check fire types often can't take air slashes. I think I have 2 of those water types on my team, so Moltres' usability goes down. Araquanid is one of them, especially defensive water type that can really take fire type moves, cannot take air slashes comfortably. But Moltres is really cool. I want to pick it up. It might come with one, it might not. I already know, but I'm not going to tell you. But we're just going to skip right past to the next Pokemon, Ogerpon and Ralspring. This is another Pokemon I didn't actually, this is the one I was talking about, right? I didn't actually draft Ogerpon. I originally drafted Chestnut plus Jolteon. I wanted a grass type with spikes. And I was planning on getting other hazard removers later because I haven't gotten any hazard removal. A lot of the hazard remover I planned on getting gets picked up. Pretty much like right after this pick, which was originally Chestnut. So I ended up having to pick up a different Pokemon that kind of replaced Chestnut, but it gave me the option to get Ogerpon Wellspring, which is a much better Pokemon. And we're actually going to talk about it. So I won't have Ogerpon for week 1, but I'll have it for every other week. Ogerpon, which you also have in the UDO, which is pretty cool. 110 base speed, which is fantastic, puts it between the Iron Crown and the Roaring Moon, so it's super solid speed here. It's a way for me to break bulky water Pokemon, which I really struggled to do. That's part of the reason I got Jolteon originally, was because it's a decent bulky water breaker, but Ogerpon probably does that role a little bit better because it can take those hits more, especially with water absorb. Nothing's taking 120 base power Wood Hammers and Ivy Cudgels, right? That is a really tough Pokemon to switch in and take hits from. It's a grass type with spikes. Our hazard setting is lacking right now, right? We have Sticky Web and now we have spikes, but that's about it. But Ogerpon's a Pokemon I feel very comfortable with. I've used every one except for the rock type form now. Well, technically, like, I haven't used Ogerpon Wellspring yet, but I have it, which is really cool. So I know it's kit. I know I feel comfortable with it. It's decently bulky. It's not like a tank, but it can take hits that it shouldn't. It does get things like Synthesis and Leech Seed and Horn Leech if I want to heal up. Obviously, Ivy Cudgel hits really hard, and like grass types can kind of check this Pokemon. When I do have Superpower as just like a really strong neutral attack, I do have U-Turn, which is for super effective. Paper option, I do get things like Knock Off. I do get Swords Dance, Trailblaze if I want to set up. Ogerpon is just the ultimate utility Pokemon. I think fits really well into this team, especially Ogerpon under Webs means I can run Adamant more than I need to run Jolly, which is fantastic, or Timid, or whatever. I don't remember what it is. Next pick, how on earth did Blood Moon go this far? Like, what? Apologies. I've used Blood Moon once before. I used it on the rain team, and it was like kind of my MVP. It's just so good. No one can check this Pokemon, and I don't understand how it's only 16 points, and I don't understand how it gets to round 7. I wanted a ground type, right? I wanted an electric immunity. I was pretty electric weak. I had the resistance in Roaring Moon, but at this point I had a Moltres that was weak to it, and like I had Chestnut originally, but I knew I was going to be making the switch pretty much at this rate, at this point already. So I knew I wanted an electric immunity. I wanted a ghost immunity as well for the Iron Crown. More so because I don't have another dark type than Roaring Moon. If it's not a Moon game, I don't want to like lose to Ghost Spam. But really, I just wanted power. That's what I wanted. I wanted something that could hit hard, and that's all the Ursula Blood Moon does. Blood Moon has a 135 base special attack stat with Blood Moon, like the move Blood Moon, so nothing can take it. Steel types can't take it because they've got Earth Power. Rock types can't take it because they've got Earth Power. Really fast Ice types die to Vacuum Wave, like Weavile and Jianpao and stuff like that. And then we have one of the other fast. No, that's Dark type, not Ice type. Never mind. But Blood Moon, like, it's super simple in how it plays, right? Often it's Citrus Berry or AV. You can run like Calm Mind, Moonlight, but I don't think that's a great set on it. It does have a really good physical defense stat with a good HP stat, so it can be very physically bulky if you need it to be, with 113 HP and 120 defense. But it's really frail on the special side. Like, yeah, I can run Calm Mind, Moonlight to like get that up, but it's not great at stopping setup sweepers. And then if I'm running Calm Mind, Moonlight, I probably shouldn't run Blood Moon because I can't click that twice in a row, and then it would be Blood Moon Earth Power, and then if against Levitate, it's like a whole thing. But this Pokemon's awesome. I just kind of went on a rant of why a set is bad, I think. But I actually think that's a good set in a vacuum, and this is just a ridiculous Pokemon. And I really want to bring out two points to this. One, I have a lot of pivoting options in this team. We do lose Moltres, so we lose a pivoting option technically, but we do gain that up in later picks. But We have a lot of pivoting options, and pivoting into Ursaluna Blood Moon is very underrated. If we can somehow get a slow pivot, we can predict their switch, and then we get a free Blood Moon on a full health, like, because we're full health and we're not trying to take a hit. I don't love switching Ursaluna Blood Moon into things unless it's like physically offensive electric types, which are hard to come by. But if we can get a pivot into this guy, it's gonna nuke. And then this thing with the webs, man, that's terrifying. Like 56, 52 base speed, obviously is not fast. But if I put in a little speed investment, and there are webs up, I'm outspeeding base 100s. And that maybe that's more than a little speed investment. Maybe that's a lot of speed investment. But if I bring this Pokemon with an Assault Vest and Trailblaze under webs, I don't need speed investment. If I can get a free Trailblaze up, I'm not faster than your entire team, and you can't take a Blood Moon. So I think Blood Moon under webs is actually so scary. I think it's going to be really, really successful. Guys, next pick we got Kansas, the Terra, Hisui, and Avalugg. We needed a hazard removal, and I like Terra Lug a lot. I used Terra, Hisui, and Avalugg a long time ago now, but it was a team that had similar-ish archetype, right? It was like this balanced core that was more like Fire, Water, Grass focused. To be fair, this is not that. This is a Dragon Prey Steel focus core. For sure, especially with some of the transactions we make next week, which we'll talk about. We are getting another fairy type instead of Pheasantipity, obviously. Well, I am just so quiet today, but that's just gonna be how it rocks. We needed a rapid spin first and foremost, and for 4 points and a second Terra Captain, I think this is a steal. Terra, Hisui, and Avalugg can hit really, really hard. 184 physical defense with body press, and Terra fighting means nothing can take my hits unless it's a ghost type, and then I have strong jaw crunch. For ghost types, which ghost types don't want to take. Stronger Jaw Crunch coming off of a 127 attack stat. I think people sleep on how much damage this Pokemon can do, especially with Sturdy. Like, if I don't want to run Strong Jaw, I can run Sturdy, and then special attackers I'm not terrified of as long as I have my Sturdy active. So I can go boot Sturdy, and then like Terra fighting Body Press, and then I have like Mountain Gale, which hits really hard. I have Rock Blast, I can break a Sash. I have Rocks if I want to set this up. I have Recover if I can heal up and get back to my Sturdy, right? Avalugg I think is actually super undervalued for 4 points being a Terra Captain. It's not worth 4 points normally, it's like 2 or 3. Because it's not a good Pokemon without Terra. And I actually tend to disagree. It's not great. It's a 3-point Pokemon for sure without Terra, but there is value in it. But this Pokemon can hit so hard when I need to. Now, obviously, its speed is not great. It's 38 speed. Its special defense and special attack are pitiful. It's 30, 34, 36, 38. So, like, I can't take special hits, and I don't have a great HP stat. It's 95, so, like, that's good. But that's not crazy. But this isn't coming to take special hits. This is coming to be a hazard remover if there's no ghost type, or to do damage as a lead, pretty much a lot of the time. And it's really, really good at doing that. Next pick, guys, is Conk. This is our second form of hazard removal, defog Conk. This is part of the reason I felt comfortable dropping Chestnut, and I pretty much knew after I picked up Chestnut and then some of the removers I wanted got taken, I was like, I need another remover. Conk is probably the best option that's on the board right now. Let's just pick up Conk for week 1, deal with having 2 fighting types. We'll get rid of Chestnut right away, and then we'll be good week 2. So Conk is our fighting type. 140 base attack, obviously hits super hard. We hit so hard on the physical side in this team, by the way, it's absurd. 140, 127, 120, 115, which is a spoiler. And then 139 is like some of these physical attack stats. It's ridiculous. But Conk has, first off, 3 great abilities. 1, Iron Fist, boosting its punching moves. Things like Drain Punch and Mach Punches hit way harder. Same with the Elemental Punches. Thunder Punch and Ice Punch for the flying types, right? Can hit really hard. Next is Shoe Force. This is probably the worst ability on it, but it does allow it to go Life Orb and knock out the recoil damage. There's just not a lot of moves it can benefit from, like, it doesn't ignore the close combat drops, like Poison Jab. It's nice, so you like get rid of the poison chance, but it's boosted up. And then like technically Drain Punch if you don't want like the defense drops close combat gives you, but you still want a strong fighting type move. It's actually not a bad option with Shoe Force, but that's its worst for the 3 abilities. And then Guts is I think the best of its 3 abilities. I can go Guts Flame Orb, and now I'm smoking things, and I'm hitting ridiculously hard with Mach Punch and close combat. And if you can't kill me in 1 hit. I'm getting all of my health back with Drain Punch. And you think you're a Ghost type? Denied. I've got Knockoff. Kong's a Pokemon I've wanted to draft for a while. I think it's really good. I think it's a consistent Pokemon. It's a decent hazard remover. Like people sleep on that as a remover. Like, it's not great as a remover, obviously, but it is default. It's not rapid defense, so like ghost types can't come in to be immune to the removal. And then if they burn me, I have gut boost, and then I can kill them with a knockoff, which is really cool. I don't know. It's just goofy. Who is it? Who? And finally, guys, we got Drifloon. This is the last Pokemon we end up dropping, actually, which was the one I was the most sad about, because I really like Drifloon. Oh, it does say Conkeldurr. I do apologize. That's really funny. This isn't Conkeldurr. That's Drifloon, Matthew. That's my fault. It was my editing, too. Oops. This was technically Dead Zeppelin, 4 points, Ghost and Flying type. I wanted another form of removal. This gives me defog. I wanted a Ghost type. I'm not really going to talk about Drifloon because I spoilers, I don't bring it to week 1, and then it doesn't, and then it disappears from my team. So we will actually end up without a Ghost type on this team, which isn't great. Not having a Ghost type on a Webs team isn't fantastic, but we do have 2 fantastic Terra Ghost users in Iron Crown and Hisui and Like, both of those Pokemon love to run Terra Ghost. So maybe we can deal with it. We do have 1 transaction left if we find that there's something that we can do for that. If we can, great. If we can't, oh well. I will talk about the 3 other Pokemon. So, right, we already dropped Chestnut Jolteon for the Ogerpon. We are going to end up dropping Pheasant, Moltres, and Drifloon. I will tell you about the 3 Pokemon that we get instead, which makes this team go from like a C tier team, honestly, to I think the best team in the format in the league, potentially. I don't actually think it's number 1, but other people we're saying it was with these transactions. So that's my squad in the ICP, guys. Thank you for watching. I do apologize, it's slightly lower energy as I'm a tiny bit under the weather. I'm hoping you guys are excited for this season. I'm really excited. It's a handful of my friends that got invited as well, so it's going to be some familiar faces, which is cool. But being invited back to a big league like this is always a huge thing for me. So I think Poke Professor and the crew that run ICP for the invitation and the opportunity. They are such good people, guys. It's incredible. I should have a link to all of the coaches down below. If I don't, I will add that in, and you will have that for the first week of battles. So my name is Matt. I am the coach of the Las Vegas Frights, and I will catch you guys in week 1.